I am so happy it's Friday. I bet you all feel the same. Today we've got a great friend of mine and beautiful friend of mine as well, who has got the most beautiful soul, and I just can't wait for you to meet her. She is a stress management coach, and I can't wait for her to tell us a little bit more of what she does. And she also has the most amazing podcast. So I see that she's here, so I'm going to bring Alice in. Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh my god, it's just good to see you, to be honest.
Where are you?
So
Are you
nice.
in London at the moment?
No, I've gone to the country to be with my mum in Yorkshire, so
Oh, wonderful. So
it's
fresh air,
a little bit of fresh air. That's
greenery.
probably you can probably hear the dog barking outside, so ignore him. But
Oh, it's so good to see your face. I haven't seen you in IRL for months. I don't think I've seen you this year.
I know it's crazy.
How time flies,
It's crazy.
isn't it? So, my darling Alice, will you tell the LBD fam who you are and what you do?
Yes, so I'm Alice. I'm a stress management and holistic performance coach, a speaker, a podcaster, recently an author, which was quite a mind-blowing thing.
Yeah, we're going to touch upon that. I definitely want to discuss that.
So yeah, I basically help leaders and companies either coaching one-to-one or with companies to help them manage and prevent stress. So basically reconnecting people with the calmest version of themselves so they can have better relationships and better focus and just a better quality of life, really.
And you know what? I feel as an entrepreneur and business owner myself, the assistance of what you provide is so needed because we don't manage stress at all.
No.
In fact, we run away from it. And then I feel that so many people, they live such stressful lives, and then suddenly they just it just hits them in one go and they totally burn out, which is obviously the thing you don't want to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's a mental pandemic in itself, stress. It's just the statistics on it are absolutely crazy. It's like 74% of the UK last year said they were too stressed at one point. They felt debilitated and unable to go to work, which is just crazy.
Yeah, and upsetting.
Yeah.
Because
Really
we should be loving what we do every day and not be stressed by it.
100%.
Alice, such a great niche that you're in. What inspired you to become for this to be your life and soul?
Well, it was it was a long journey. I went through a 7-year period of chronic stress, really myself, where my half sister got diagnosed with terminal cancer, and during that period, before we lost her, just our whole sort of family life started to fall apart at once. And so I experienced what I now call sort of stress in every dimension of my life. So I had my dad's sort of business at the time was falling apart. So we had sort of financial stress as a family. We're selling our homes. My sister was terminally ill. My relationship was breaking up at the time. I then got made redundant. Just sort of everything that I, had as security disappeared. And I was like, right, I really need to understand stress, how to cope with it on a better level. Otherwise, I'm not going to sort of get through it. And then my dad actually developed, because it's more likely for men if they have chronic stress for a long period of time to turn into depression than it is women. And so my dad actually developed depression from grief and extreme stress from businesses and losing his daughter. And we watched him suffer with that for 5 years. And I was already doing what I was doing. During that time, I started to sort of learn my way out of what I, now teach other people, and then decided that's actually what I wanted to do for a living. But I lost my dad to stress-related illness, so a large stomach ulcer, last summer. So I'm just such a massive, massive believer in trying to sort out this, like I say, mental pandemic and make stress such a less of a normality than it is.
I mean, thank you for sharing that, because obviously that is hugely sensitive. And yeah, I mean, wow, what an incredible story, and how amazing that you're now helping people and navigating them into a way that they're not going to feel overwhelmed by the stress. Incredible. Um, so in terms of finding clients, so what do they find you, or what's the method of how you've been finding the people you're working with?
Yeah, my clients, it's all been either word of mouth or via LinkedIn, really, for one-to-one clients, and then companies, it's been LinkedIn or contacts and stuff. But It's I'm going to actually, I do one-to-one, like I said, but I'm going to move also at the moment because of the pandemic and everything. I've been designing on the side a sort of monthly membership, so it's going to be lower cost. That's all online, so I'm going to do a sort of big push that online so more people can sort of afford to deal with stress easily. So I want to make it sort of a community and do sort of group coaching with it.
Incredible. And especially the fact that we're all in isolation and we're kind of probably going to be in these isolated lives for such a long period of time, and people are stressed. I have not voiced enough that I've had a number of my friends who I'd always see as like totally put together break down because this environment is hugely stressful. Not only stressful in your private life, but also businesses are really suffering. So yeah, I think having that platform would be, I think, would it speak to a big, big audience. So I can't wait. I want to join it.
Join in, yes, Marina.
Yeah.
No,
I'm trying, I find this time is the best time to really focus on yourself because we haven't got the distractions of other things we would get up to, all these other activities. And also we should be investing in ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, someone said to me the other day who is an amazing speaker and he's a future trend specialist, and he was saying on my podcast, he was like, whatever you had in your mind, so whatever was going on before, because of being now locked in with your own emotions under lockdown, it's going to be magnified. So if you were angry before, you're going to be angrier. If you're stressed before, you're going to be more stressed. So I think it's such an important time to really look at what your mental state is and try and get on top of it if you can.
And going on that, do you have any kind of toolkit for people who are feeling really stressed at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you are feeling really stressed at the moment, first thing, and I'll give you a morning mindset routine that people can do to help them like be positive and sort of help with stress throughout the day. But
Amazing.
one thing I will say before all of that is stop watching the news 17 times a day. Because when we attach to all the negative fear-based stories that are going on, obviously we need to get the facts, that's fine. But if you watch it, it becomes addictive. And if you watch it first thing in the morning, your brain will then, your subconscious will look for the negative for the rest of the day. So you're kind of setting yourself up for failure because there's not much good on the news right now. So I would say, if you have to watch it once a day and get the facts. Don't get, stuck in watching it 7 times. But other than that, doing like a morning mindset routine. So I say this to all my clients, and I literally cannot, I do it every day myself, and I can't like advocate it enough. So it's basically, first of all, put your phone on airplane mode when you go to bed, so that when you wake up, you don't have that immediate flooding of messages, emails, crap news, so you have that space for yourself. So you end up responding instead of reacting, because when we're stressed, we react instead of respond. So then like make your best coffee, whatever drink you like, get a journal and a pen, and then just sit down somewhere quiet and do what you say mind dumping, which is basically getting all your angst out of your head and onto paper. So you can start as simply as literally being like, how do I feel today? Or you can start with, what do I want to get out of my day? Or, just go either happy or, get your angst thoughts, whichever way, just free flow it. Do it for a minimum of 5 minutes. And if you can, just keep going, because the more you do it, the more you'll be able to process your thoughts. And then go to gratitude, because I know everyone always bangs on about gratitude, but there's a reason. Because it's again, like if you start the day with gratitude, your brain will look for the good in the rest of the day. So just picking like 5 things to be grateful for and listing them out in the morning. And if you can do more, then great, do more. And they don't have to be big, you can be like, I'm grateful for my cup of tea, like simple things just to program your mind for the good. Then move on to meditation. Again, everyone says like, oh, you have to meditate, but there's another reason, because it is scientifically proven to make you less stressed and make you happier. So you're really just like finding a meditation that's good for you. I think a lot of people get confused and think that meditation has to be like Yoda on top of a mountain without a single thought, but there's so many different types. You can go and do a walking meditation, for example, which is on something on Headspace. They even do them on there. It's just a mindfulness meditation that gets you present and guides you through walking, so you're actually enjoying your surroundings. So I think finding a meditation that suits you is really important. Do that for 5 to 10 minutes a day, and then do affirmations if you can. If you're feeling really stressed, affirm the opposite. So like, I'm calm, or I'm happy, that kind of thing. And just write that down 3 times. If you can bear it, look in the mirror at yourself and say it, because that goes into your brain even more. And then I always just finish it with like a high vibe song, and like raise your vibration, get your energy up, and dance around to one of your favorite songs, and you'll feel a lot happier and more positive for the day ahead.
That is incredible advice. And whilst you were like saying, I was like, I am going to replay this when it becomes a podcast so that I really have this as part of my regimen. Love that. And also because like no one is really commuting to work anymore, they've got the time to do the meditation, the gratitude. So thank you. That I'm definitely going to be there, and I'll document it so you can see that I have.
Yeah, exactly.
And so let's discuss this book, Alice, because am I right thinking that like it was written in 10 days?
Yeah, so it's written in 10 days. It was one of those crazy things. The woman who put it together is an amazing woman called Sammy Blundell, and she's a big branding marketing person who she came on my podcast, and I now do some work with her and different things. And she wanted to put a book together during this time for businesses and people who are struggling, whether like it's mentally or whether it's with their brand itself, for different entrepreneurs. And all the proceeds are going to an amazing charity for children's mental health called Clear Sky, which helps children who have had sort of some traumatic event that's really making them suffer in the classroom, so they can't concentrate. So with their mental health or whether it's their self-esteem. Yeah. So it's a really amazing charity. So all the proceeds going to that, and it's about 24 authors together, all with their different stories and different strategies, whether it's branding strategies, because some of them are really business based, and some of them are social impact strategies, like mine's obviously around stress. So yeah, it's a combination altogether. And then the some of the Secret cast members, if you know The Secret, that book that's one of the big law of attraction books, they did a big movie on it on Netflix, and there was about 20 experts in it there, and 2 of them have been involved, which has been amazing. So yeah, it's been really, really great. It's got to #1 in the home-based business section on Amazon in US, UK, the Netherlands, Japan, Australia, and top 20 in Canada so far. So it's been really exciting. So
oh my God, can we just give it a moment of gratitude to that, and well done.
So yeah, it's cool because we're so happy because it's all for charity. So it is really exciting. Yeah,
that is incredible.
That's the Kindle version. So the hard copy will be coming out this week, I think, or next week.
That is absolutely incredible. Oh my word! Well, I can't wait to get a copy. Well done.
Thank you, Marina.
I was like a co-author of a best-selling book.
I know, it's a weird one. I'm like, how did that happen in 2 weeks? Very strange.
Well, that just shows you, like, when an opportunity comes, you take it. And there are so many opportunities. We just got to see them. Yeah,
I completely agree. I mean, this wouldn't have happened, this book, if the Corona hadn't happened, which is what's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, love it. And so let's also discuss your awesome podcast.
Yes, I love the podcast. I actually just recorded a new episode today with an amazing person, which I'm so excited about. It's a podcast based all around, I interview different leaders in their fields, from like CEOs, entrepreneurs, or whether it's different coaches or, people with incredible stories who've been through great stress and loss. And so it's basically, I always ask them beginning and end, same thing, and what's the greatest stress or loss they've personally had to overcome and how they did it. And then we sort of go into a story, conversation, tips and advice and inspiration for the listeners and how to sort of get through theirs, and end with a bit of spirituality, because I love that. My work's always mind and spirit combined. So yeah, it's been really great, the podcast. I love it, and I'm getting more and more amazing people on it, which is really exciting. I mean, I have had an incredible man today called Alex Flynn. I haven't released this episode yet, but he, for example, has got Parkinson's at 36, and he's now an adventurist, and he genuinely does some of the most insane challenges that you wouldn't even do if you were in perfect health. He's done like the the desert run and like desert marathon and the Sahara, all these kind of things, and he does it all to raise money for Parkinson's, so he can find a cure before he's unable to move anymore. So it's really amazing. I get to like now speak to some really incredible people that I wouldn't have before. So I love doing it, and hopefully it seems to bring some light and inspiration to people, which is nice.
A lot of inspiration, and also I love it because I always see the updates on LinkedIn, and yes, Alice has interviewed some really amazing guests. So I definitely recommend. Is it weekly?
Yeah, it is. It's meant to be. It hasn't because I was ill, but it is weekly, yes.
And you were writing a book, so it is okay.
Thank you.
And then Alice, on to my last question, which is related to LBD. What would you say is your one wardrobe tip?
My what? Wardrobe tip?
One wardrobe tip.
My one wardrobe tip. I think like as I get older, I'm like, I actually just want to, I just keep sort of like buying stuff that actually is going to last and pieces that I actually want instead of just having a wardrobe of a million things that get worn out within a month and then I throw them away. So I really like buying like a really nice piece that I can then just put on with, you know, jeans and a top, like that great jacket or something. I think that's what I kind of, yeah, enjoy now and would be my tip instead of buying loads of crazy pieces. It's yeah, simplicity.
Oh, great. And just, I forgot to ask this one question. For those who are seeking some stress management advice and help, how can our community contact you?
Yeah, of course. It's you can find me on either my website, which is www.lawali-life.com, or I'm on Instagram at the same lawali_life, or I'm also on LinkedIn, which is just Alice Law Stress Management Coach or something. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, Alice, I cannot thank you enough to have this interview on a Friday afternoon while you're in the country and your mom, and I really appreciate it. And I am so proud of your book and your podcast, and you're owning it. So thank you so
much for having me. It's so nice to see you and talk to you.
You too. I can't wait to be out of isolation and get to hug you again.
I know, it's crazy. I've lost all sense of like time. I'm like, is it Friday? Like, what?
It's all blended, isn't it?
It is. Thank you so much. It's so nice to speak.
Bye, darling.
Bye.